Welcome back to another video, guys, and this is the Google Pixel 4. And I know in my last video about this I was pretty upset with it and I was harsh on it, right? And I'm still going to be harsh on it. This is the worst phone I think that has come out in 2019. Okay, maybe the Royale Flex Pi, but I still say that it was a little bit unique in its way. But okay, let's forget about that. The Google Pixel 4. I'm trying so hard to see what Google sees in it or what other people see in it, and I just can't. They keep saying the camera is amazing. The thing is, the cameras, they're fine. I mean, on my Pixel 3, it was just as okay as the iPhones were right now. So I'm just trying to struggle to see why I would pay $100 more for this over the iPhone 11. Now, anybody who says that the display of the iPhone 11 automatically disqualifies it from being able to compete with this phone, what I'll say to you is that the Snapdragon 855 in this automatically disqualifies it from competing with the iPhone 11 because this is a slow, old chipset. Okay, not slow, but this is an older chipset, not even the 855 Plus. So automatically then it shouldn't compete, right? If that's the logic we're going to use. But barring that, okay, the Pixel 4 is just, it seems like it was so under thought out. Like everything seems to be a hit or miss here, and very few things are hitting. It's a lot of misses. So the Pixel 4 in 64 gig. This is not the XL. This is just the whatever. Yeah, just the smaller one, if you can even call it that. It's $800. I'm very upset about that. I can't believe I actually paid that, and it's pretty much, you know, a Google Pixel box. It's very similar to every other box in the fast. So I'm sorry if you guys can't hear the enthusiasm in my voice, but that's for a good reason. So let's pull off these tabs and do it. Okay, pulled off. Damn. All right. So the back. I mean, I'm gonna say the back looks kind of cool, but let's open it up. So design-wise, I'm impartial to the Pixel. You know, I don't think it looks bad. I don't think it looks amazing either. I think this is a very generic design. So be it as it may, it looks pretty decent to me. I wouldn't say this wins any design, you know, awards or anything, but at the same time, it's not a bad design at all. This is not something I would mind carrying. So let's lift this out of the box. The color choices, that's another story. I'll talk about that later. Let's see what comes in the box. From the other videos I've seen, not much. So you get a bunch of paperwork, your SIM card tool, bullshit, all right. You get USB-C to C cable for charging, USB-C to A, and you get your power adapter. That's about it. That's all the box has to offer. Let me throw this stuff to the side here because really, who cares about it? And let's look at the Pixel 4. Now, the Pixel 4 has some of the most questionable feature choices ever, mainly that motion sense radar, because this cannot be used in a bunch of countries. You cannot use this runs on, I believe, the 60 hertz radar range, and that frequency is not allowed in a lot of countries. So one of the biggest ones being India. So if you take this phone to India, you will not be able to use that phone. Google will recognize that you're in India. It'll automatically disable it. Done. You cannot use that feature. It'll just be disabled, locked down. As far as what I can tell, Austin Evans tweeted that he was in Japan and he couldn't use this feature as well. So that's that. So let's open up this plastic. Let's see what this has got. So the sides are this black matte finish. Looks pretty good. The back is it's very similar to like the Pixel 3's frosted like the frosted bottom it had. So if you guys remember that the Pixel 3 had the bottom part like frosted out, so that's what it feels like in terms of feel. Look, okay, I'm not, the white looks clean. But what I don't understand is the black here. Like, what's going on there? Like, why couldn't you just pick one color and stick to it kind of situation? You know, it probably will grow on me and I'll probably end up loving it. But for now, it just looks like a questionable design choice. You got your power, your volume up, down. Power button is orange here, as you guys can clearly see. very, very apparent. I don't understand why they didn't go with white. It would have been such like, if they went with white here, I could have been like, oh cool, they're going with this black and white theme. I would have understood. It's just they went with orange for some reason. Again, a lot of things in this phone just looks like they went with it for some reason. USB-C at the bottom, speakers bottom firing now instead of front firing. Let's power it on. Let's see what this thing's got. So, turning on. No more fingerprint scanner at the back. It actually does kind of feel weird to hold a Pixel and not have that fingerprint circle there to rest my finger on. It feels a little weird. The one thing I'm not liking right off the bat is the forehead, the chin, whatever you want to call it. The top looks weird because the bottom is actually pretty thin. Like, it looks pretty slick down here, but at the top it's disproportionate. Now, I think that's a big reason. If they were both the same size, it wouldn't feel as weird, but it just looks kind of... It looks like the Pixel 3 when you disabled the Pixel 3 XL when you disabled the notch feature. It's honestly what it looks like to me. So next, all right, I'm going to set this up real quick and then give you guys a first impression. Or you know what, on second thought, I'm going to put in a SIM card and show you guys some of the setup features that are new on this phone. So one of the changes they have made is that the SIM card tray actually comes out of the left side of the phone now. It used to be on the bottom. It's on the left side now. Not a big change, really. It doesn't affect anything. But, you know, I thought I'd just point it out while I'm there. Let me put it back in. So this does have an eSIM functionality. So theoretically, you can use it as a dual SIM phone, I believe. I really don't care about it. All right, so connecting to mobile network. So the one thing that is concerning me about the Pixel is the display. So while it does have a 90 hertz display, it has a very tiny battery, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But the bigger issue is that the screen doesn't get very bright. So right now, it's in my studio with lights, and I can tell you guys that it's a little bit, it's dimmer than what an iPhone would be. Let me just tell you that. Let me sign in. All right, so we're at the face unlock part of the video. So from the one video I've seen, it is not as easy as the iPhone is. So let's see. All right, so you got this little pear-shaped thing, I guess. The bottom. All right, okay, turn head a little less. All right. Okay. All right, that was not too bad. It was a little bit, the way it's laid out isn't as intuitive as the iPhone is, but again, it is what it is. All right, so here we go. We got quick gestures. Turn on, make your lock screen smarter. All right, turn on, identify music around it. Yeah, I like this feature. And, all right, I'm just gonna get into the phone at this point. Let's go next, finishing touches. Go home, switch apps. All right, it's teaching you how to go. All set, all started. Swipe up to start. All right, so here it is, the Google Pixel 4. Now, all right, I can immediately see that the screen is not at 60 hertz. So if you guys don't know, if the brightness is below 75%, it does not enable 90 hertz display, which makes no sense to me. It should be the other way. If you're trying to save battery, when you're on a higher refresh rate, I would say that, when you're at a higher display brightness, that's when you don't use your the higher refresh rate. Like, as I'm saying, there's just so many questionable decisions with this phone. All right, let's, where can I test some of this stuff? So, first off, let me see how when I come closer to it works. Okay, so I'm far away from it. I'm reaching for it, picked it up, and it's unlocked. All right, so that's cool. So it saw me. All right, hands away. I'm gonna let it shut off. So I think it still recognizes me close to it. All right, let me get closer. Pull up. So as soon as my hand gets close, you guys can see that the lock appears there on the always on display. Let me kind of zoom in. Hopefully it'll, the display will be able, the camera will be able to pick it up. All right, so with the display off, what happens is when I get my hand closer, pay attention to the very top. When it detects my hand is closer, it's gonna show that lock at the top, which means that it has turned on face unlock at this point, and it's trying to look for your face already. So watch this. So yeah, as you guys saw, before I even touched the phone, it lit up and started to look for faces. So it's a very good feature. It's helpful for sure, but I don't think that putting so many resources into that radar was really worth it. What else? Okay, so I can see that as you interact with the top, you guys can see the these little icons moving around. So watch this. If I move to the left, these goes to the left. If I move to the right, they get pushed over. So that's I guess okay. It's all gimmicks at this point. That was the only feature I think was really worthwhile. That and the alarm. So let me go set an alarm real quick, and let's see how that works. So we're gonna hit the alarm. All right. So I have an alarm set for 7:33. When it rings, let's see if it actually gets quieter as I get my hand closer. I'm gonna move my hand away. I'm gonna move the phone into frame so you guys can see what goes on. All right, so you guys can hear it's ringing at full volume. All right, so as soon as I got my hand closer, it got quieter. But when I take my hand further away, it doesn't get louder again. So it's like a one-time thing. Once you get closer, it just automatically turns it to be much quieter. Of course, the face unlock is not as secure because it doesn't have the attention options that the iPhone does. I think that's very important when it comes to face unlock. It should be able to notice that you are looking at the phone. That's when it should unlock. Now, I'm sure that people will come up with arguments to defend this. I don't think it's something that you can defend. It's a security measure. It should be there. Shame on Google for not even thinking of that and saying that it'll come in a software update a few months down the road. Honestly, there's just not much that excites me about this phone at all. It has a small battery. It has a already outdated CPU. It's nothing big specs-wise. It's got 6 gigs of RAM, which is, I think, okay. At least it's not 4 gigs is all I can say about it. The design is okay. Definitely no issue. The lack of ultra-wide is baffling to me. Their entire execution of this phone is baffling to me. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. I can't keep ranting on and rambling on like this. I just want to try to find one positive thing about this phone before I go out, because I hate to be all negative. The one thing I will say is that the phone feels great in the hand. That's one thing that they did get right. I've always felt like the smaller Pixel phones have been the perfect size to use in your hand. They feel good. If they had just kind of nailed the way the display looks, for the most part, I actually really liked the Pixel 3's forehead and chin. I thought it was pretty uniform, looked decent. Sure, it wasn't as big with screen to body ratio compared to some of its competition, but it wasn't bad. I could excuse it because of the front firing speakers, but this doesn't have that either. So it just a lot of things going on here. So design is the one thing I'll give this some credit. That's it for this one, guys. Let me know if you have any questions about the Pixel 4 or you want me to cover something about it. This is one of the first phones I've ever bought knowing I'm not going to like it, knowing I'm going to hate it, hating so many things about it off the bat. But that's the same thing that happened with the Pixel 2. When I bought it, the only reason I bought it was because everybody was ranting and raving about the camera, and I didn't understand it. I thought it was a horrible looking phone, way too expensive, overpriced. But after using it, I fell in love with it. The cameras really blew me away. I'm hoping the Pixel 4 is able to achieve something like that, but knowing what the cameras of the iPhone 11 are capable of, I just don't see if Google is going to be able to do that. I'm going to go in depth more with the astrophotography mode and camera modes in another video because I just don't want to waste this much time in an unboxing. So that's it for this one, guys. If you have any more questions, as I said, about the Pixel 4, let me know down in the comments below. If you have any creative insults about the Pixel 4, I'd actually like to hear about that even more. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Pixel hate content, and have a great day.